Hello guys. So today we're going to deal with an HR data to build a wonderful report for an HR department. As you see here, we build a dynamic HR management dashboard, and we slice and dice all the data here for the ethnicity, full-time or part-time, and also we have the statistics, the number of employees, the turnover, and for example also for the year 2021, as you see it's changing together, and for the region, for Midwest, North or West, as you see here, and again we'll filter it by, for example, for the group D and the ethnicity, and I need the male. As you see, it's all a wonderful dynamic dashboard for HR department. So today we're going to build a wonderful dynamic dashboard for HR department. Let's start by checking our data set. First of all, let's check our data here. So we have a data set for 2018, 19, 20, and 21 until October 21. And we can add a data later when we finish October, November, and December. Let's check our data and see what do we have here. Here in 2018, we have the date, we have an employee ID, gender, age, and the ethnic group, full-time or part-time, and the termination date. It means that if any employee has been terminated, it will be a date written here. And if the employee is a new hire, yes, and the empty is for it's not a new hire, and the region, the hire date, pay type on hourly basis or salary, and also we have the termination reason, if it's involuntary or voluntary, and also there is an age group, teeny a day, and teeny a month, and whether the new hire is a bad hire or bad hire for 1 and not bad hire for 0. This is our data set. Let's start connecting these data. Actually, we have a 46 file. Let's connect it to our Excel file. So we create a new HR management dashboard, we name it, and let's get the data from home as usual. From data, get the data, and from file, and instead of importing file by file, let's import the whole folder. So let's from folder, and here let's copy this path and paste it here. So we need this data, the HR data. Let's open it. And now we are connecting our data set. We have all this data, all fine. Let's combine it and transform the data. And if you see my previous videos on YouTube, you see this, or in Power BI course on Udemy, you see how we can set this one. So let's set it for, this is the union one for Windows, and based on first 20 rows the detection, and the delimiter it will be comma. Press OK. Now we open the Power Query editor here, and again this is common in Excel and in Power BI. So we can manipulate the data here, and instead of typing a lot of function and formulas in Excel, there is a Power Query editor. We can deal with the data in a simple way. Here, actually, let's do some cleaning for our data. Actually, here we don't need, let's open this one and see what do we have. We have an HR data. We connect data. No need for this column because it's the same here. So let's remove it. And let's make sure that the column format is appropriate. So this is a date, it's fine. This is number, text again, and this is text. Termination date, should be a date, and is a new hire, it's fine. termination reason, that should be text, or leave it. And everything looks fine. Everything looks clean. And if we face any problem, we'll fix it later in Power Query Editor. So let's load it to our data. We can load our data, our all files, 46 file. We can load it to our Excel file here in HR Management Dashboard, this file, Excel file. But this will make the file size bigger and heavy to deal with. So let's make a connection to this data. So press close and load to. Here, let's make a connection, only create a connection. And I need to add this data to data model. Press OK. Now, if you see here, we don't have all the data set loaded in our sheet. It's only loaded here. So we can insert our pivot table. We can analyze, slice and dice our data, or analyze our data building dashboard without loading our data to here. So that's it. Now it's working in the backend. Let's see our data. See what do we have here. We have an employee again. We have a date, employee ID. So let's make some analyzing for the data. Now that depends on the HR management or the HR department purposes or the management purposes. So you can choose whatever the analyzing you want. So for example, let's start by, no need for this one. Let's insert our pivot table. And if you press this one, same, here it needs the table or the source. And since we don't have the source, it's in the connection. So let's press this one, insert pivot table from data model. And okay, we need it here. Let's make it for the first one. And this is our data. Let's, for example, take the date and employee ID. Let's ungroup it. Here we go. And the employee ID, we need it as count. We have all the date here from 2018 until 2021. And we have the count of employee ID. Let's group it. Just do like this. And I need month, quarter, and year. We do a grouping like this. Now, and also I need the total. So let's go to design, subtotal. Here we go. And let's name this one employee count. Now we have number of employees in January 228, and in February 229, in March 229, and the total it will be 686 employees. And that is wrong. That's not correct. It's because this is an aggregation number. This is a subtotal. It's summarizing, not summarizing, it's calculating or aggregating the January employees with the February employees and with the March employees. And that is not correct, because the total number of employees in the first quarter is only 229, because we have a new hire here, one employee here, one employee here. So it's 229 employees in the first quarter. This one is not correct, and it's not a good measure because it's aggregating the data. And also we have in the total 2018, for example, 3,105, and that is not correct. Also in the quarter 4. So the correct number for the whole year, it should be in December 304 in the quarter 4. And that's because this one, it takes a snapshot for the data in our HR department. So these numbers, this one, this one, this one, and those one are not correct. That's why we need to make a new measure to count our employee IDs. And how we can do this one? We need to count only this number in March, June, September, and December. So let's make a new measure. And let's name it employee count. I will write the measure and I will explain it in English. Now, I want to calculate count the employee ID, filtering all the HR data, where the date, this one, equal to max. Let's close this one. Let's check our formula, and now it's correct. So let's fix it. Let's fix this one. So let's fix this one. Actually, here I want to filter all the data, so no need for that. Where the date equals to max. Close the parentheses. And let's check our formula. Now it's English. Now, in English, it means I want to count all the employee ID and I want to filter all the HR date in my pivot table where the date is equal to the max. So it means in March, in June, September, and December. The date in my pivot table should be the max. And let's make it as number. Press OK. Now we're good. As you see, there is a differences. 228, 229, and you see in the subtotal for the quarter one is 229, and here 251, and for the whole year is 304 because it's a snapshot. It's not an aggregating number. So no need for the count of employee. I only need the employee count. Now it's fine. Now it's ready. Now we can analyze our data according to this number, not to the ID number, because this is the correct number for our employees. So for example, if I want to check out or I want to analyze how many active employees that we have. So here we have if the new hire or termination date. So I need all the employees that there is no termination date here. Actually, we don't have anyone terminated in 2018. So I need to check out in the other data any employees that don't have any date and termination date, and that will be an active employee. So let's make a new measure, for example, and let's name it active employees. And again, here, let's calculate. Now we can use our employee count. You see, it's the new measure here. We can use it. Filtering. And calculate the employee count, filtering all the HR data, this one, and I need the termination date is blank because that means it's an active employee. So here, let's make is blank the termination, this one, the termination date. Let's close the parentheses and check if our formula is good and no errors, it's fine. Let's make it as whole number. Now here we have an active employees, and if you see here we have just only 300 active employees, and that means there is a separation for 4 employees only. Here again for 3 employees. Here we have 8, and so on and so forth. Let's build our new dashboard. So no need for the employee count. Maybe I need only this one. So let's insert this one for the active employees, and it's okay. No need for that. Again, you can analyze the data in the best way you find. No need for the grid line. And the total, let's name it as active employees. You can add whatever you want. This is in all the years 2018, 19, 20, 21, and broken down by the quarters and by month. And you can, when you stand here, you can find all the data you would like. Let's make it some width, and here let's make the data label. Maybe we need it inside or outside, and inside, and it's fine. And make it as white. Again, you can choose whatever you want. Make a legend again. Here you can choose whatever you want for the legend. And that's it. This is our first chart. But what if I need to count again? We counted the employee ID, we counted our employees, and we counted the active employees, and also maybe I need to count the new hire. This is a good indicator for the hiring process in our company. So let's make a new measure. Here. And let's name it new hire. And let's calculate it again, the same. I want to count all the employee ID, this one. Filtering all the HR data. And to analyze this, let's get back to here. If this column is a new hire is equal to yes, so I need this only this one. So if the new hire equal to yes, let's close it again and check our formula. Now it's correct. Let's make it as number. Press OK. here, as you see here, we have a new hire here in January, new hire in February, and maybe there is one aspiration one, and again there is a new hire in March. So the total, it will be 3. Again, here's the total, 31 in total, in 30 in sorry, in quarter 4, and in total 78 in 2018. This is the new hire. So we have 31. We have 30 employees new hired in 2018, 180 in 2019, 486, and until now 102. And this is a bad indicator. Maybe this is for Corona. There is a separation, COVID-19. There's a termination for the employees, and this is because the drop in 486 to 102 employees. I'm sorry. Maybe this now it's 486, and now it's 805, and this is a good indicator for hiring people. Okay, so here it's already done in the same chart, so we're good. Let's move this one to here. This color, and make it more bigger. Active employees, and name it new hire. Now it's fine. Let's make a new sheet. Let's name it dashboard. And let's take this. No need for that again. And let's put it here. Now we have the first dashboard. Again, we can do whatever we want. For example, for the data label here, for the data label, we can make it inside end or outside end. Inside end is fine. And here we go. And if you don't need the new hire or the active employees, that will be fine, totally fine. You can add whatever you want. So again, we have the new hire, and let's add the active employees here. Here we go. This is our first chart. Let's complete dicing and slicing. Let's insert this one. Let's call it active employee. Now let's go to insert new pivot table again, the same way, and let's make it in a new worksheet. And now we have our active employees, so let's break it down by gender or by ethnic group. So let's take our active employees and make it by ethnic group. It's a fine. Maybe we need again to make it with the gender. So let's take the gender again. This is for female, male, and this is the grand total. It's fine, totally fine. And again, you can choose how to preview this data. So let's take the gender to here. As you see it now, it's better for view. So choose the way you want. That's comfortable for you. So let's make a new chart, and this is totally fine. No need for the grid line. Again, the same. And let's hide all the button. And here, let's name it active by ethnicity. No need for overlapping. And let's add the data label inside end and color it with white. No need again for that. Now let's copy it and go to our dashboard and paste it here. Actually, now we are in the easy part, because the hardest part is for analyzing the data and know what do you want and know what the management wants. And also you need to ask a good question, how to analyze the data. What is the purpose for our analyzing? What should I know about this analyzing? Now let's make a new connection or a new pivot table. Let's go to insert. Again, the same. Let's name this one. And maybe this one, let's name it active by ethnicity. Okay, let's insert a new pivot table in a new worksheet. This one, let's call it again active by ethnicity. Now let's slice our data here in the sheet 4. Let's make it by the region. So let's take the active employees here, and I need the region, this one, and we are good. But what if I need to make another measure for it, or another something to break this data? So let's add, for example, the full-time, part-time. It should be a good indicator. So there is in central region or in East region, the full-time employees is 21, the part-time is 43. A good indicator to know which city is better to work in full-time or part-time. Let's add a new, let's choose this one. Now it's fine. No need for the button again. And let's get rid for the grid line. And make the label inside end. Let's make it some width. Now it's fine. And the color, give it the white one. Again, here the same. I need the chart, title chart, and let's call it active by region. Okay. So let's cut it and go to our dashboard and paste it here. Again, you can choose whatever you want. And let's name this again is active by region. And again, here name it. Let's name this. It's better to name to give the name for the pivot table. It's easy when you choose the report connection. Now we have in our dashboard, we have the active employees and the new hires, and we have also the active employees broken down by the ethnicity and by the gender, also broken down by the region. What if I need to break it down by the group, by the age group? So let's insert our pivot table, make it a new worksheet. And here we go. We have an active employees here. And we have the gender as well. And also I need the age group. Not the age, because we did an age group. So that's better to use it, that one. Now it's fine. We know it's less than 30. Less than 30 age. The female is 170, 174 for the male. and more than 50 years old, and female 42, and there is a lot of workers from male more than 50 years old, it's 86. Let's insert our chart as well. The same no for the grid line and no for the button. And let's make the label outside end. It's cool. And give it a title. Maybe we name it. We should name it as active by age. Okay, let's cut it and go to our dashboard, paste it there, and let's name it. Don't forget to name it. It will make it easy later to connect to the slice. So active by age. And here's the same. Don't worry about that. We'll arrange it when we finish. So we have an active employees, the new hires. We have an active by ethnicity. We have, again, the active employees broken down by the region and by the age. Now we should have the separation. It means that let's check our data here, our data set. So we have termination. So I need to count all the employees that has been terminated from the company. So it means I need only the cells which the termination date, this has a value. So it should be a date here. If there is a date here, so it means the employee has been terminated. So let's make our new measure. Let's insert our new pivot table and add a new measure. And here, let's name it separation. Again, let's calculate the same. I want to count the employee ID maybe we missed it. Yes, this one. I want to count the employee ID filtering the HR data and see. I need this one is not a blank. I need the termination date is not a blank. It means there is a data here in our termination date. So let's get back and continue. Filtering the HR data, and let's make it reverse. Not is a blank, this one, the termination date. That means I want to count all the employee ID, filtering the HR data, in our data set, this one, filtering all the HR data, where the termination date is not a blank. It means it has a value, it has a date, and the termination date column, it means the employee has been terminated. Let's check our formula, and that's correct. Make it as number, press OK, and now we are fine. There is a separation. Okay, and there is a reason for the separation, maybe for a bad hire or a good hire. So let's choose our bad hire here. This one. And now that means we have a separation number of employees that's separated 1,120 for the bad hires. And again, you can choose whatever the analyzing you want. So maybe I need to do it like this, and I need to analyze it by the date. So let's take the date to here, and now we are fine. We have in 2018 the separation Let's name this one as bad hire. And as you see it here, in 2018 we have fired, or the 11 employees have been terminated for the bad hires, the same number. And here in 2018, 96 total firing, total terminated employees, only 92 for the bad hires, and the rest is voluntary. So let's analyze this data and make it okay as well. No need for this one. Let's get rid for the grid line and make the label inside end. Make it white. Again here, make it white. And give it a title. Call it separation. Here we go. Again, no need for that. Or you can leave it. Totally fine. Let's copy it and put it here. Again, let's name it. Name it as separation. And again, name this one as separation. Now we built our data, our dashboard. Don't worry, we'll arrange that one. So we have an active by ethnicity, the new hires, active by age, active by region, and the separation. And also I need to know what is the reason for this termination. Is it voluntary or involuntary? So let's make a new pivot table. Let's insert new pivot table. And here we go. We have the separation, again by date, but here I need the reason. So there is a termination reason, this one. Okay. This means an involuntary 11. And as we see here in separation, if you see it here, this is for the bad hire. It's not voluntary, it's involuntary because all from bad hire. So we have to terminate this employees. So again, you can analyze this data and read these numbers. So let's insert our pivot chart. No need for this one. Again, we'll do the same. And no need for the grid line. Give it a title and call termination reason. And same as well. Make it a little bit bigger. And the label, let's make it again inside in. And give it a number. Don't forget to name it. Now we have completed our dashboard. Still we have to do some arrangement. Now let's go to view. Now we are in the easy part here. Now for the grid line, and okay, let's take this one to here. No need for that. Okay. Actually, let's give some room to here. To be readable. Okay. And make this smaller. Again for this one. This is the active by region. And this is the termination. That should be here. You can align it. And the best way you want. Now we have completed our, and let's make this smaller. Now we're good. We built our new 4. Let's complete it. Let's insert our background. I guess I have downloaded one. Let's choose that one. It's fine and more readable. Okay. Now we're good until now. We need, don't worry about this one. I just downloaded the background from the internet. You can choose whatever you want. Now I want to make the most important part, to analyze, to slice and dice the data. So I need to insert a slice. So just click on one chart and go to pivot chart, analyze, and insert the slices. So I need slice for the date, I need for the region, and also I need for the ethnic group, for the part-time, full-time or part-time, and the gender. And you can choose whatever you want here. Press OK. Here we go. Actually, we don't need this one. So let's delete it. I need it as year. So again, let's insert our new one and insert it as this one, the date as year. That will be better. Let's make it as in 2 column. Okay, and the gender. Again, make it as 2 column. Full-time or part-time. Again, you can align it in the best way you want. 2 column. And actually here, let's rename it. To full or part-time. And there's the ethnic group. Again, let's name it to ethnicity. Or you can leave it, no problem. You can name it whatever you want. Here we go, and still we have the region. And yes. Let's make it a bit bigger. This one, let's make this one a bit bigger. Actually, that's good because we had a watermark here. Oops, we still have that one. Let's find the room. We can fit it here, I guess. So let's yeah, that's fine. And here, let's name it as HR. Dashboard. Okay, that's fine. Now I want to make some statistics. So let's insert some icon. I need a male. And I need a female. And I need a group of employees. This one is fine. And also I need money. And I need an hour. Let's insert it and give it a green color. Okay, so let's do some arrangement. Okay, now I want some calculation for my employees here. So let's do some pivot table for this statistics. Let's insert pivot table and make it as a new worksheet. And here we go. We have, let's make it as gender and the active employees. Totally fine. And let's go to dashboard. Here, for the male, that equals this one. And this one. And this is the total for only for that. Looks fine. And maybe we need to do some ratio. So for example, I need to calculate the ratio for the male and the female. So for example, here, it means this one divided by this one. And again, this one, it means this one divide by the total. Make it as percentage. And everything looks fine and looks clean. Now we should have another one for the pay type, hourly or salary pay type. So let's go to here again and copy this one. No need to insert it in a new worksheet because it's in a small number for analyzing the data. So again, I need the gender or the active employees first. This one already done, active employees, and no need for the gender. I need the pay type, that one. Now it's fine. The pay type for the female and for the male on hourly basis or salary basis. So let's go to dashboard here. And again, let's copy that. Actually, we need some that's fine. Let's call it here hourly and salary. The hourly for the salary, the hourly basis for the men, this one, and the salary, this one. Again, the same for the female. Now it's fine for the payment type. Now let's make it for the full-time or part-time. So the same here. Let's copy it again. And no need for the pay type. We need full-time or part-time, this one. Again, let's copy that. And here, let's type full-time and part-time. Full-time for the male, the part-time again, let's okay, that's totally fine. What do we have here? Still we need a turnover, and this is a perfect indicator in our case in the HR department. And the turnover, it means that we should divide the separation or the terminated employees, it means the separation, over the active employees. So I need to do a new measure here in our pivot table. So let's add a new pivot table here. And actually we need the gender and the date as well. But actually I don't need the active employees. I need a new measure. And let's add a new measure here. Let's call it the turnover. And that equals to divide the separation, this one, sorry, over active employees. Close the parentheses, check the number, and since it's a percentage, it's okay. And here we go. No need for the active employees. We only need that. This is the turnover for all the years for the female and male. And this is a good indicator that indicate me, or this is a guide for me that which employees with which gender can work more days, more months, more years. No turnover for any reason. So let's copy it and paste it there. Actually, let's take that to here, and again make some room. And here name it as turnover. And the turnover for the male, it should be this one. And for female, it should be that one. Don't worry about these numbers because I will analyze it by slice and dice, by slicers. So let's make it as percentage. Actually, we can make it here. Oops. Again, you can do whatever you want. Let's add some separation for this one. And here we go. And actually, let's blend some of this. Now we didn't finish. We still have some problem to fix. So let's design, go to design. For example, if I need this one or this one, and that's cool one. For that, let's give it this. The termination reason. That's fine. Actually, we need to change that one. Yes. Now it's totally fine. Now the most important part here is if I press this one, now it's fine, but not all the data are changing. So let's make a report connection to connect all the data here. Actually, we didn't rename the others, so it's fine. Let's connect all the table. Yes. Okay. And if you notice that one, again, let's connect all the table. and now it's fine. Still we have the region. Actually, I have to connect all these tables because I didn't rename all the pivot tables, and that's why I was asking you to don't forget to rename it. Termination reason and so on. Press OK. And now we're fine. Let's go to 2019 in the main. And here we go. But what if I need to add more data? We have this wonderful dashboard. So let's add a new data. And here, for example, just for the training purposes, I added a new data for November and for December. We didn't finish it yet because we are still in October 16th. So let's assume that we finish our data. So let's take this one, for November and December, copy it and paste it here. So we have the new data set here. As your data is growing, so you can update your dashboard. So let's go to here, for example, and no need for the filters. Again, we're totally good. So let's go to data and one click, refresh all, and just notice the changing here. Refresh all. It will take a bit time. And now if you see there's a changing in our data. Whenever you have a growing data, you can just paste it in your destination and refresh it all in one click. That's it. Hope it's a useful video for you to analyze your HR data, your employees' data for the turnover, for the statistics, and so on and so forth. And you can analyze the data in the best way you want and for the management purposes. See you in next chapter. Hope you're good.